Today I'm going to show you how to effectively tape what's called a butt joint. I got to tell you, a butt joint is probably the trickiest joint to tape of any of the drywall joints. And well, why is that? Well, the reason for it is you're bringing together two pieces of drywall. This is your joint here, and that's a butt joint. But what makes it difficult is the drywall tape, it rests on the surface of the drywall. Now maybe you're saying to yourself, well, Leah, doesn't all drywall tape rest on the surface? Well, not really, and that's what makes this joint so tricky and difficult to hide. Let me show you what I mean. Now, to show you the difference, I have a piece of tapered drywall. And so what makes this different? Well, it's this crease right here. And what it does is it creates a space for you to rest and embed your tape. So once you mud it and then you mud over it, it brings it flush with the drywall. So when you're taping a butt joint, you don't have that indentation. You're resting the tape directly atop. Okay, so this is the tape. I want to give you a close-up shot of it because it's really unique. Now, I want to tell you the Strait-flex butt tape, that's who makes it. It's very, very thick, durable tape, and it's a lot thicker than normal drywall tape. Now, this is the side that's going to go into the bedding coat. And if you take a good look, I'm going to hold the tape down here. If you take a good look, you'll see that it's embossed on the sides. And that helps the tape really, really grip that bedding coat. Now, this is the side that you mud. And what makes this tape really unique is you don't use that much mud. Once you lay your bedding coat and you've embedded the tape in the bedding coat, when you go over it with your second and third coats, you're only going over the edges. You don't have to worry about mudding the center of the tape, believe it or not. It's just the edges that you do. And what happens is you wind up using less mud and there's less sanding at the end of the day. Now I'm going to show you how to apply the tape. So I've got mud on my blade, right? Now there's a tendency to want to come down like this. And the problem with that is it leaves too wide of a gap because, you know, when you're taping, you start off with a narrow band and then you expand the band and you expand the band. But if you start off this way, the band starts off too wide. So I'm going to show you what you need to do to create a smaller band. And what you do is you take your mud and you apply it sideways. And you come down one side and then you go down the other side. Okay, so what I'm doing now is I'm applying my butt tape to the joint there. And make certain that you apply the correct side. This is our bedding coat, of course. And this side is the side with the print. That's the side that you want, okay? So I've got it installed there, my bedding coat. Now I'm going to take my knife and I'm going to drag it across the joint to embed the tape into the joint. Okay, so it's firmly embedded in the bedding coat. That's the coat underneath the tape, is the bedding coat. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to apply my second coat to the edges. So I'm just going to do the edges here. That's it. Apply the edges. Now, if you notice, the edge of the tape looks nice and clean. But in the center of the tape, I've got a little bit of mud there, and I'm going to clean that off. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to clean that mud off the center before I apply the second coat over here to this side of the tape. So let me clean that off. There we go. Now I'm going to come down the other side. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to clean up that center there, just like I did on the other tape. Just like I did on the other side, I'm going to clean up that center. One last time, come up the side, and there we go. I got to tell you, this is really the beginnings of a very good butt joint. Look at how the tape has transitioned into the mud. It's very nice. Now, when I come over it again with my third and final coat, the edges will disappear a little more. Okay, so now it's time to apply my third coat here. We're going to try to bury the edges a little bit more than they are. Here we go. I'm going to go back over it very lightly. Just taking my time. There we go. Okay, now I'm going to come down the other side. And I'm just going to clean off the center a little bit. That's it. Okay, so my mud is set up and it transitions, the wall transitions very nicely into the tape. I've got a couple imperfections here that I'm not really happy with, and so I'm just going to hit it lightly with a little mud, and then I'll do my sanding. I just got a little mud here. I'm going to take these imperfections out. Right there. There we go. Nice and smooth. There we go. I don't like that there. Take that out. So our surface is dry now, and what I'm going to do is just do a light sand, real light sand, and I'm going to do it by hand. Now what I have here is just a paintbrush, and I'm just going to use the paintbrush to dust it off, get that residual dust from sanding the drywall. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take a paint roller, and I'm just going to prime a section of it. So what I have here is just some regular latex primer, and we're going to see just how well this joint looks. Now I have to tell you, this is a very, very nice butt joint. This is Leah saying you can do this. See you next time.